Live from Abuja, the nation's capital, this is Matters Arising, coming to you from the studio of KAFTAN Television, your interactive station. Matters Arising is the flagship talk program of KAFTAN TV that features in-depth discussions and analysis of topical national and international issues of the day by a team of seasoned broadcast journalists. My name is Evelyn Dan-Epelle. Good evening.
My name is Maucauley Hunohashi. We welcome our esteemed viewers.
I am John Okoro. Welcome to the program.
A very good welcome. It's been a week and it feels like forever already.
Yes, indeed.
I know it's so good to be back from the Salah break, although I didn't get any Salah ram. Did you?
It's good to be back. I am lucky because I'm surrounded by neighbors, very good Muslim neighbors, and this year I got Salah rams and rice. I even had to give out the excess.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. I gave out the excess to
did you get any?
Christian friends.
Honestly, it's ironical because I have many Muslim friends. And for the very first time in a very long while, this is the very first time that Salah will come and go and I will not get anything.
Oh, no.
So we're the same.
Honestly,
we're on the same.
Bad for you, John.
Honestly,
I feel like my friends were avoiding me. I don't know if it's the inflation or something.
The situation is really
Yeah, but you know,
understand.
a very happy Eid Mubarak to our Muslim viewers. We welcome you to today's show, which promises to be engaging and informative. You can also be a part of the conversation by calling the number displayed on your screen. But before we introduce our first topic of discussion today, let's join Sifon Umar for a quick roundup of events and happenings in the polity.
The leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has said he might seek negotiation with the federal government over his ongoing trial. Kanu, who spoke through his lead counsel, Aloy Ejimako, told the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday that he would seek the negotiation under Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act. Responding, counsel to the federal government, Adeboyega Awomolo, told the court that he had earlier informed the defendant that he does not have the powers to negotiate on behalf of the federal government. Awomolo stated that the defendant should approach the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, who has the power to negotiate on behalf of the government. In a related development, a federal high court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Emeka Nwite, has dismissed a fresh bail application by the detained Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, seeking his release on bail pending the conclusion of his trial. Justice Nwite, in a ruling today, held that Kyari's application lacked merit. He stated that Kyari failed to establish any exceptional circumstance that would warrant the exercise of judicial discretion in his favor. He therefore rejected Kyari's application and approved that the NDLEA proceed with the prosecution of both Kyari and his co-defendants in the matter. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in Rivers State has called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the state. Tony Okocha, the caretaker committee chairman of the party in the state, made the call during a media briefing in Port Harcourt on Wednesday. Okocha stated that Rivers State is at war and those responsible for the mayhem are known. He further declared that the APC in Rivers State is calling for a state of emergency as a way of arresting the crisis currently engulfing the state. Meanwhile, Governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, has sworn in new caretaker chairman for the 23 local government areas of the state. The ceremony took place at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Wednesday amid tight security. The swearing-in comes a day after the governor forwarded the list to the State House of Assembly, led by factional Speaker Victor Jumbo. That is all on the news roundup. I am Sifon Umar.
The battle for the soul of Rivers State between Governor Sim Fubara and his predecessor, the current FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, has now shifted to the local government councils of the state. Chairmen and councillors whose tenures came to an end on Monday, June 17, are refusing to vacate office. They rely on a law passed by the Martins Amahule's faction of the State House of Assembly, which purportedly extended their tenure. This development has led to violent confrontations between pro-Fubara youth and others loyal to the former governor, Wike. It is a no-brainer that the situation must be brought under control before it gets out of hand. Let's take a listen.
And people need to understand why what happened this morning happened in Rivers. They went and brought magistrates. I don't know where they got them from, packed them in buses, and they were waiting to move into the local government headquarters this morning to conduct a swearing-in exercise that will now swear in people that their tenure have expired as local government chairmen that can now remain in office without a tenure. Look at the level of madness people wanted to perpetrate in Rivers this morning. So I don't know how the people of Rivers State heard about it and stormed those local government headquarters and took control of those local government headquarters so that the head of administration can act as required by law in view of the vacancy that have occurred by the expiration of their tenures.
We are also aware that our enemy is also planning a lot of things, but we will not fall into that plot where we will allow him or them to destroy the peace that we're enjoying in the state. Let me also say this. I am also aware that there is also a grand plan to come and arrest some of our supporters. This time around, you have to pass through me to arrest them, because I don't think there is anything that any of those people following us have done rather than stand on the side of truth. If it will cost us our life to stand on the side of truth, we will do that. And I will be the one that will lead this cause. Let me also say this. What is happening here now is a defense of democracy. We will not allow a wrong precedent to be created in this country. It is not about Rivers State, it's not about Fubara, but if in any way this attempt of tenure elongation succeeds in Rivers State, it becomes a norm in Nigeria.
You know, the Rivers State local government crisis is, I'm taken a little aback by this, especially because I'm from Rivers State as well. And beyond...
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm from the Okoro local government area in Rivers State.
Okay, Pele, from your name.
Which even happens to be the local government of the
governor too.
Yes. So this is more real to me than it is imagined, because I'm sort of aware of the impacts and the effects that the crisis is having. And even more critical for me is the concern that this crisis is sort of shifting our attention from what should ordinarily be the primary focus, not just of the governor, but also of leaders within the state, which is ensuring that the growth and development of the state continues and even progresses beyond what it needs to be. But as dramatic as this seems, it's also a very trivial issue, because, when two elephants fight, as my mom would say, it's the ground that suffers. I mean, how are you reasoning about this?
I don't envy the people of Rivers State at all. There are various schools of thought that if you ask them, they will tell you the remote reason for this crisis, unending crisis in Rivers State.
Right.
Some will tell you it is about resource control. Some will also argue that it is about the purse of the state. Others will argue that it's about control of the structure of the political structure of the state between Fubara and his as well governor, the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory. However, I think we are a country of lawlessness, because Nigerians have a penchant of disrespect for the law. For goodness sake, there is a law that vacated this law that was enacted by the Speaker of Rivers State, that elongated the tenure of the chairman, the 26th chairman of the local government, and the case, it was vacated, and the guys were refusing to vacate, so that there will be elections, or caretaker committee put in place in the interim before elections. That is why I support these lawmakers, federal lawmakers led by Ikenga Ogochinyere, that advised the governor to charge them to institute a case, criminal case against them for treason.
And it's interesting that you're saying that, because consequences are really what needs to start happening for all of these deviant actions, as I like to call them.
Right.
Last week we talked about this when we were saying that there needs to be some kind of constitutional amendment, and we were speaking to the fact that it's really the human actors. You talked about lawlessness now, and how we don't have respect for laws. So it doesn't really matter if we have our laws written in gold.
Exactly.
The fact that people are not obeying the law. I mean, what do you have to say about this?
Yes, that's the fact. Because just like Maucauley said, it's about Nigeria is a nation governed by the rule of law.
Exactly.
And once you do not adhere to the dictates of the law, then what you're going to get is anarchy. You're going to get chaos. You're going to get confusion, instability, and then exactly what we're having now in River State. Let's just have some brief background to this thing. Okay, now look at it. Just earlier in the year, the state assembly passed a law purportedly prolonging the tenure of these people for 6 months, and that happened. Now, when that law was sent to the governor for his assent, the governor refused assent. Then the assembly used their constitutional power to overrule the governor and then pass that law. And the essence of that was to spite the governor, so that he will not be able to have control over the local government system. Now the matter went to court, and on the 21st of May, a high court in River State ruled that there is no such provisions either in the constitution of the country, 1999 constitution as amended, or even in the River State law itself, that there's no such law. So because if any law goes against the constitution, that law is null and void. Now you don't have anywhere in the constitution that has a thing like that. I don't even have anything like that in the laws of River State. So where will you now base that action? So it is expected that these people, when their tenure ended, they should just vacate and go and allow for governance to continue than putting the state and the whole country in this situation.
Also, speaking of the history of things, don't you also feel like this is a kind of behavioral pattern, and I think we can call it that at this point, because specifically in River State, and it's interesting that this conversation, I would call it today's mainstream gist. It was the conversation everybody was having from, people in the buses, people on the streets, everybody is talking about this. But here's the challenge. Everyone is talking about the dramatics of it. Talking about how the predecessor is always at loggerheads with his successor. His successor is always at loggerhead with the predecessor, and so on and so forth. And like I said in the beginning, I feel like the dramatics of everything that's happening, although it's important to assert that we should be a country where the rule of law is obeyed and there should be consequences, clear consequences for when the rule of law is not obeyed. However, there's a hyper focus on the drama of it, and there are lengthy conversations you see on social media people are having about is he right, is he wrong. Earlier today I heard someone say to me that an agreement is an agreement. But
Evelyn, I agree with you. But politics is about drama. Drama is an integral part of politics. To disagree is an integral part of politics. To also be at loggerheads is still an integral part of politics.
But to the detriment of our growth and
development. My fear is that there is already tension in River State. The two sides of the divide, people are being killed. We don't know what will happen this night. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. And Nigerians are already calling for a state of emergency. So if this thing escalates and snowballs into something unbearable, ultimately, that is what is going to happen.
Our phone lines are open. I would like to hear from our viewers. We have a call coming in. Let us... Hello, good evening. This is KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Hello, this is Fidelis calling from Cross River State.
Hi, Mr. Fidelis. Can we get your comments in a quick...
I'm just tuning into this section.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV? Can you turn down the volume of your TV set?
Hello?
Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set so I can hear you?
Okay.
We lost the caller?
I think we lost the caller, but we have another call. Hello, good evening. This is KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Okay, this is Kyo. I'm calling from River State.
Oh, it's good to speak with you, Theo. You're right at the theater of action. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Okay, I want to start from the House of Rep member
Yes, go on. We can hear you.
that said they wanted to swear in those local government chairmen.
Yes, we can hear
They
you.
are looking at it as taking a side. Who want to swear them in? That is question number one. Did you read it in the paper or in the idea? Question number two. Then most of you that are in the studio, people who are not there. Most time I said you should call the both party to the studio and debate. You shouldn't call just one side, one of the party people. Call the pro-Wike and pro-Sim to the studio. Let them debate. I want to challenge the House of Rep now, who want to swear those people in. When they are privileged to handle the position, should be neutral.
Right.
So let me just end there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I think that he's sort of mistaking us for politicians.
We are not
now.
politicians. We are not.
Journalists
We are just.
who are having
We
conversations
are not
about the issue.
pro-this.
I think that is the reason why the reason why we've opened our telephone line so that
Exactly.
everybody can call pro-Wike, pro-Fubara, those that are even non-aligned can even call to share their perspectives.
It's very important.
Yeah, but like we're saying,
But he asked
We
the question. He
are-
said,
no.
who will swear them in?
exactly, but they've been sworn in.
No,
What
the,
we're here to tell him is that they've been sworn
the
in.
issue that the caretaker, the 23 caretaker committee chairmen were already sworn in sometime
sworn in
today
today.
by the governor.
We
So
have a quick call.
yeah, so-
Just take this. Hold your thought. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm not from Kogi State.
Yes, please. Welcome to the show. Let's have your thoughts in a minute.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My own contribution that you make federal government to help us to settle this case because we don't want to cross river to approve and cross river approve. The whole Nigeria they have affected. Our prayer to federal government to enter this issue to set this case to peace for us.
Well, thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate it. Thank you. We have another call. We'll take that quickly, but I want us to hold on to that thought of him inviting the federal government to sort of intervene in this. I think that is interesting. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to the show. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. I think we lost that one. What? Did he just say that the federal government should intervene in the issues in Rivers State?
I think people are worried. That is just his opinion, and because he has this feeling that both parties are not ready to shed their swords. So the federal government is the biggest arbiter in this matter.
Yeah, but the states
there's a call.
Yes, 1 minute, please. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Oh, we lost that one. Please turn off the volume of your TV set when you try to call the studio so we can hear you clearly. Hello, KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Okay, we're having a little bit of network challenges. I was going to get your views on his comments that the federal government should intervene in this. What do you think?
I think on the issue of federal government, I think as far as I'm concerned, River State people and the government should be able to solve their problems. When it will be time for the federal government to come in, maybe not now, but as it is today, I think everything is still going on normally because we're talking about what does the law say. The law says after 3 years, your tenure is over. You leave and then let there be a continuation of government. So I don't know what the debacle is all about.
1 minute, we have a caller. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Hello, good evening.
I'm calling from Jos.
Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set?
Okay.
Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising, KAFTAN TV.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ola. I'm calling from Ikeja, Lagos.
Okay.
Good to have you, Mr. Kola. Can we get your views in a minute?
I just want to say to this River State local government issue. You know, the issue with the local government and River State government at large has to do with the way the federal government has handled it from the beginning. Now, let me just paint a picture. When this case was taken to the president gave a particular, you know, an agenda, like 7-point agenda that was signed by the governor. And the moment after that, governor has said, I'm not going to go along with this peace park. You can see that it shows that federal government from them, they have been quiet, which means that there are certain vested interests from the federal government, you know, which is already bringing this anarchy to River State at large. Because the moment Governor Fubara said, I'm not going to go along with that path, every other thing turned around. And until Fubara's or the River State people or River State government take a stand that this is what democracy is, this is what the law is, and the law is followed to the letter. Because even the solution that the president preferred before, they are not constitutional. They are not entrenched in the constitution. It's just political solution. And if you look at it critically, they are illegal. So let the law take its course. Those that their time has expired, let them leave the office. I heard in the news today that Governor Fubara has picked certain lists, and they already forwarded to the three farmer panel River State lawmakers. Let that take its course, and let peace return to River State for the sake of River State people, so that development can start to take place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kola. That was very well
articulated. He's talking in tandem with what John really said.
Yeah.
The law should take its course. You know, who is the federal government? The federal government is headed by Mr. President. By the time federal government intervenes, they will be seen to be taking side. So it is the law.
But what he's pointing at, and you just said shortly a while ago that, you know, politics is all about drama. He's
will continue
to the drama.
It will continue.
Where he's reporting that there is some kind of agenda.
There will not be an end to the disagreement between Fubara and Wike on the political front.
Yes.
But on legal grounds, the law should take its course. That's what we're saying.
Yes. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV, Matters Arising.
Yeah, good evening. This is Abubakar from Kotigi, Niger State.
Good to have you, Mr. Abubakar, on the show. Let us have your views in 1 minute.
Yeah, what I have to say here is that the Governor Fubara is doing the right thing. He's following what the law says. Understand? The River State government should at least give this guy a chance to do his work. Let's actually, what is it called? Which is to pass their laws, allow this guy to do his work.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Abubakar. We appreciate your contribution. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV, Matters Arising. Hello, good evening. Matters Arising on KAFTAN TV.
Good evening. I'm calling from Adamawa State.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set so that I can hear you clearly?
This is the first Adamawa.
All right.
We're happy to have you on the show all the way from Adamawa. Let's get your contribution in 1 minute.
Yes, I want to say something about the Constitution. What did the Constitution say about it? Let the governor behave as a man. So let him see what the Constitution says and let him write based on the Constitution, so that they can be able to stop the bloodshedding in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is he talking about
I think the governor has actually gone ahead.
I feel like there's some kind of consensus, you know, but here in the studio and with guests, like everyone acknowledges that the drama is going on, but there's also consensus around the idea that we need to focus on our growth and development. Interestingly, I read a news story about the governor's local government itself, which is my local government, the Okoro local government.
Oh, really?
And how for the first time in forever, the local government was recently connected to the national grid. And I had conversations about how there hasn't been electricity in that local government since time immemorial. And we're having all of these conversations, and I wonder how much more focus the governor is giving to these growth initiatives and all these social impact ventures that can be taking place in the states. And really that's what everybody is talking about from their phone calls, which is stay on the Constitution, but there also needs to be heavy focus on how we can move forward, both as a state and even as a country.
Yes, I think there should be deterrent for people who deliberately, out of some kind of political expediency, who just want to break the law. There should be some deterrent. And that is why I also allude to what the members of the House of Reps said about these people, some of them being tried for treason, because actually they attempted to force themselves back to the secretariats before they were resisted by some people, including the security agencies, and that was what led to the confrontation and the violence that we had in Rivers State. So there should be some kind of deterrent, because when politicians feel that they can actually get away with certain things, then that is why we are just going around this vicious circle.
Yeah. Oh, we have a call now. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Yes, I'm calling from Jos.
It's good to have you on the show. What's your name?
Good evening, my daughter. I'm very happy with you, and I love the program you're doing.
Thank you so much. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set so your daughter can hear you?
Yes.
Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set?
Please, they should allow the governor to work in that River State. The problem we have in Nigeria is facing a rule for 3-4 years. It won't continue really. How can this country move forward? Please, let's be sincere ourselves. All of us to be sincere. Let's be sincere. Allow the governor to work for River State people. Please, I use constitutional work. Let's do it. Let's go straight to the point. No, it's not beating to the bush to outside. It's not good. Let's go to the point directly. Please allow the governor to work and use constitution to work in River State for the River State. Please stop the River State people.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for that contribution. We appreciate it.
God bless you. God bless you.
Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. I think we lost that one. I'm glad to see that, you know, in the past, I feel like Nigerians would want to continually engage the drama, but now everyone seems exhausted about the drama, and most people just want to think about a clear path forward. Like, how do we move beyond all of these agitations and the dramatics to finding a more, peaceful state and sane state where we can do our work? I don't know. What do you think about this?
I think politicians have not learned their lesson. You know, how many years? 25 years after this Fourth Republic, from May 29th, 1999 to date, we keep repeating this kind of misbehavior from politicians. I quite agree that even in the most advanced democracies, the ones we copy, politicians must always disagree.
Yes.
Disagreement between Fubara and, you can see what is happening in Kaduna. Sani and his predecessor, the current governor and predecessor, they are quarreling already. You know, Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, has quarreled with the deputy to the extent that he was impeached. So there must be this animosity, so to speak, or disagreement, amongst politicians.
Right.
But the law, like we keep saying, and even the callers, there seems to be some kind of consensus, amongst all the callers and our position here in the studio. The law must take its course.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
My name is My name is Ibrahim Sales. I'm calling from Kogi State.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you give us your contribution in 1 minute?
They should allow Governor Fubara to do his work.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much. Well, I like that the contributions are now, there's homogeneity among the contributions. Governor Fubara must do his work. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we return, the show continues. This is Matters Arising.
When we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world, we're not just bragging, we know our onions in the world of broadcasting. One of our outlets to express ourselves to the world is our flagship program, Matters Arising. Join veteran broadcaster Ruben Okala and our crack team live.
And they give us a high price, and we just say, Nigeria, we ready?
As I said earlier, the lyrics is up, talking about the old new national.
On KAFTAN TV, Startimes channel 480 and 124, as well as large concert frequency 12518, symbol rate 29500, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. live. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 0802-993-8365. It's dramatic and insightful. Don't miss it. Please join us. When we say
the show, this is Matters Arising on KAFTAN TV. You're very much welcome to join the conversation here today, discussing Rivers State and the issues at local government level. My name is Evelyn Dan-Epelle, and I'm very delighted, especially to be having this conversation, not just because I'm a concerned Nigerian citizen, but also as an indigene of Rivers State to be concerned. And, you know, I love my state. Rivers State is such a beautiful state.
Evelyn, we're all concerned because this is Nigeria.
Yes.
Rivers State is just a minute component of what makes up Nigeria.
That's
and if you look at the colors, they're color from every part of the country,
from
the north, and everybody is on the same page.
Exactly.
Consensus.
If I travel out of the country, I don't introduce myself. I don't introduce myself as an indigene of Adamawa State. I say I'm a Nigerian. So we're all concerned.
Thank you for that, and I agree with you, and I appreciate the sentiment that, you know, this is something that should concern all of us, especially knowing Rivers State's pride of place in terms of Nigeria's our geopolitics in the country, the contribution of the state to the the development of the country as well. Let us see what our callers have to say. Hello, good evening. Matters Arising on KAFTAN TV.
Okay, I've called before. My name is Kyo. I'm from River State.
Hi, Mr. Kyo. It's good to have you join us again.
Okay. My sister, though people are saying they should allow the governor to work, fine. I'm also saying they should allow him to work. I have a question. Mr. Okoro said about the law. Before he became a governor, there was a law that said that no caretaker committee. Mr. Okoro, we are.
Sorry, say that again. There's a law that says what?
Are you aware that it's very not to pay the council chairman for some months? Are you aware that? I think so.
Okay.
So let's not be sentimental. Are you aware that you pay 3-4% to raise the budget of 8.1 billion? You are probably saying what has not happened in the country. Are you aware? So you cannot look at it on that angle. We are fine. We have never said I voted for him. My sister, you didn't vote. You are in media. I voted for him. I fought for him. I said I'm with my right to do. For some, let's be fair. Let's be fair. We are talking about constitution. Our voted for things. Here we are.
You've asked a number of questions. What is your position? What is your position? You've asked a number of questions. What's your exact position?
My own position, people are not fair. You are talking about the governor. You talk about the constitution, the law. The law, people are violating the law. The law says constitution says that it's not caretaker. So why is it doing caretaker? That's my question.
Thank you so much for your questions. He's asking us even some more questions.
He actually mentioned my name directly. You know, I understand the situation because, you know, this is politics. And politics is like a religion. You know, people are very passionate about this, and you have different people who have different opinions about different issues. So I understand that, but that is not what we are here to do. We are journalists. We are not on anybody's side. All we are saying is that let the law take its course.
I think
as simple as that.
There's a component of his comment. There's a component of his
let the law take its
There's
course.
a component of his comment that has to do with caretaker committees. He talked about the law that does not allow governors to constitute caretaker committees. That is why the amendment of the constitution to give local government full autonomy is very, very important and key. With that, no governor will have the right to constitute state INEC.
Right.
And the monies accruing to local government from the federal account will come from the first line charge. So government will have limited access to the emergence of chairmen, and how they expend their resources for provision of dividends of good governance.
I like
ordinarily, if not because of this crisis, because this crisis actually started when the House of Assembly changed that law or repealed that law to extend their tenure to 6 months. If not, before the expiration of their time, there should have been preparations for another local government election in the state, because once that happened, then that was how the crisis began. What we are just seeing now is like the climax of it. The crisis began when that law was changed to extend the tenure of this local government chairman to 6 months.
But let us even briefly engage his school of thought, because he called us back twice. He shows that he's very concerned about the issues.
For sure.
He's right there in Rivers State, although he accused me of not voting, even though he doesn't have all that information. One of the things I want to say, and I really want to make sure that I'm not misconstruing what he's saying, he was making references to some of the laws that has, been ignored in the past, I want to believe. Is this in any way, a way of him suggesting, or by means of suggestion, that, the governor should not intervene in this, so therefore, the administrators should continue? Is that what is that the point
I think he's creating
that
awareness.
He's trying to make?
He's creating awareness about the law that protects the emergence of local government chairmen through election, not at the whims and caprices of the state governors who wake up in the morning, and come up with their own personal list and call them caretaker committee. And the
caretaker committee will stay there perpetually.
Yes, let's quickly take this call. Oh, we lost the caller. The reason I'm asking that is, I kept asking for his position. I wanted to know, because he
doesn't have a position.
It's okay not to have a position, I guess, because he kept on insisting that we had a position and that our position is like the government should.
No, he's most likely trying to be careful, because
we don't have
his name.
We don't have any position.
We don't have any position.
We will have to say it even for the umpteenth time. Even if it sounds like a broken record, we have to say it. We don't have any position. We just want to see things done right and rightly too.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Okay, our callers seem to be a little. Hello, good evening, KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Good evening, my sister.
Good evening, my brother. Welcome to the show.
I work.
Fine, thank you. Can we have your contribution in 1 minute?
Yes. My contribution, I know everybody has his own opinion. I hear some people talking that they should allow Fubara to work. Who hold him? Who stop him to work? He's fighting his boss. He's the one who has the problem. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. That was
it's the shortest.
Who is holding the governor? Please, we need to find out. Hello, good evening. Welcome to KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Good evening. Matters Arising on KAFTAN TV. Good evening. Can you hear me? It's a little difficult to hear you. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I find it difficult to hear you. Please try to call us back. Who is holding the governor?
Nobody.
No one is holding him. Yeah, you know, no one is holding him.
I think the governor, what is holding the governor are distractions.
Right.
Yes, you cannot perform, maximally if you are distracted from, achieving, from your focus, your mandate. What you have promised people to do for them, you are being distracted because of political exigencies. So that is exactly what is holding. I think the caller just put it in figuratively.
Exactly.
They are holding Fubara. I think what he meant is that he's been distracted from achieving his mandate in
office.
Providing expectation of.
Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Good evening, my sister.
Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Let's have your contribution in 1 minute.
Okay. In fact, what the governor did there is just the correct thing. You see, the local government, once there is no election, the most senior person in the local government, which is either the DPM or whoever takes over. Yes. Yes. And that's, the name saying caretaker is not caretaker. The most senior person there takes over until such the time the election is conducted.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate it. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
I think he's talking about vacuum.
Yes.
There should be vacuum at all. And what Fubara did was he asked the directors of admin to take over before his, today he administered oath of office to caretakers.
We do have a number of calls, even waiting calls.
Okay.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. This is KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Good evening. I am Chief Okiti from Maucauley, Delta State.
Wow.
It's good to have you join us from Maucauley. Good evening, Chief. Can we have your contribution in 1 minute?
Thank you very much. My contribution is that I'm affirming what the last speaker said. The local government administration has a structure. All over the country, local government have been there right from the military administration of Obasanjo, when decrees was in place before we go into democracy. There's never a provision in the constitution that allows technical committees to be appointed in local government administration. Then another thing again is this: if the problem in River State is to be solved, the government should stop talking too much. You should stop listening to voices from both south, north, and south, and west, east. The people around him are benefiting from the crisis, and that's why it's difficult to resolve the problem in River State. We should have one maturity. Sometimes his behavior indicates that the wisdom to lead is not there. People should talk to him. We should bring people with enough wisdom to guide him. Otherwise, throughout the same way, there will be no peace in River State from all our observations. I retired as a very senior civil servant. So the structure is building there. It's going to create more problem for him. This is my take.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief. Thanks for joining us.
I think the man is talking about walking the talk.
Yes.
Because the governor, as far as I'm concerned, also, it's my own personal opinion, is reacting to issues too much. Today, I listened to him, attentively. And in the course of making his remark, he said, there are plans to come and start arresting his followers. That whoever wants to come and start arresting his followers must pass through him, first of all.
Right.
He's sounding very tough. Some people like it, while some don't like it. On my part, I will just play with him, if he's listening, to just further in what he says.
It's also good
because action speaks louder than voice.
Right.
So
Seems to be engaging every multiple emotion.
It's also good to appeal to those who are also operating from the outside, trying to destabilize and also distract the governor from doing his job, to also desist from doing that, because it takes two to tango. Because if the governor is allowed to do his job, then there will be no need for all, because there's a governor in place, there is an administration in place which is going to last for 4 years. So allow these 4 years to elapse. At the end of the 4-year tenure, if you don't like him, you vote him out. But as far as he's in charge, allow him to do his job. I'm talking to those external forces who are also distracting and destabilizing the state again.
Well, the good thing is we are a praying country, and Rivers State is also a praying state. So I'll just say that God would give the governor the wisdom, just like Chief has said, to pick his battles, and just like you rightfully said, is you can't engage every single emotion and every single opinion, otherwise there will be a lot of distraction. Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
My sister, this is Q.
Q again. Welcome to the show. We would like to have you join us at the studio.
It's now our resource person. Our resource person from Rivers State.
Maybe we should say our correspondent from Rivers State.
The beauty of democracy is to checkmate.
Yes.
When my brother Okoro said that somebody should not be outside, that person is from Rivers State. He has interest. He's from Rivers State. He has invested in Rivers State. So you must checkmate whosoever that is in charge.
It's reacting to you.
So it's our state, it's our money.
Yeah.
I will checkmate him because it's only me an explanation.
But it's my state too. It's our state. We love Rivers State. Yes. We all do.
So one person should not say that somebody is outside. They should allow him. Allow him to do what? We all have interest to become a governor. If you ask me, I have interest. But he was privileged, he was opportune. So we have to support him. I'll make a word that a situation whereby he used 4 men to sign a budget one day. People didn't attend to that.
Okay, can I ask you a brief question? You just said now that you do have interest to be governor of Rivers State, correct? Yeah, so I'm saying that if you were the governor of Rivers State today, how would you respond to the current issues if you were the governor of Rivers State?
Well, from my background, I do appreciate something. If you assisted me, I will appreciate you. I will not betray you, me as a person. I will not go to sorry and sign agreement, then small boys will come and deceive me. It's not fair before the president, before the national security advisor and all that. No, it's something else.
Well, thank you so much. That's our correspondence now from Rivers State. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution.
That is the fear.
I think his position is pretty much clear at this point.
He's speaking the minds of so many people, indigenous of Rivers,
yes,
particularly in Rivers. He's sounding like a pro-Wike. And there are so many like that are sounding like pro.
The agreement is agreement.
Agreement is agreement.
Maybe we need to talk about this agreement.
This agreement is an agreement. Fubara has signed a 7-point agreement, but he reneged on it because of certain extraneous forces that are trying to frustrate.
But there's this school of thought that with new information also comes like new decision making. So if he has signed an agreement and then there's a new piece of information that has emerged, how do we?
I think he actually signed an agreement based on the politics of the time. You understand? And he actually went ahead to implement it, because the first thing was what was the name of the other factional speaker before, who now resigned his position and became the chief of staff. And some other things that
he's still the chief of staff.
Yeah, I'm saying he resigned his position as a member of the House of Assembly and then became the chief of staff. That was one of the points of that particular agreement. So I think to a point he actually tried to live to that
Hello,
agreement.
Good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, my sister.
Good evening.
My name is Jaja.
Oh, good evening, my brother Jaja. It's good to have you on the show.
Yes, so we're very happy for what is happening in the States.
You're happy?
At least the governor today has appointed people to man the local government.
Okay.
And I believe by the grace of God, if this is allowed to go, there will be prosperity that will start continuing in Rivers State. Honestly, the other speaker has said that about the law. We all are aware that this law, the people that made those laws, that there should be no caretaker committee, this is what we can even use. The former governor used it. Yes, the thing is in the social media. So, Fubara coming to use it is not a problem because those lawmakers that said it shouldn't be used, that caretaker committee should not be appointed, they already lost their position and the matter is in the court. So let them wait until Friday. We'll conclude all this matter. This matter will conclude on Friday during the appeal court, and the Rivers State will return to peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was another clear contribution from Jaja, who sounds like he's also from our local government. He sounded so excited about that.
King Jaja for Provo.
You know, I really want to see a day where we're not, and this still refers to all the constitutional amendments we talked about last week.
Right.
So now what I'm hearing from people is that, you know, we should shape the constitution around personal sentiments. You know, because if he's saying that this law is something that this XYZ used, and so this new person should also use it, and if it doesn't work for the next person, you can amend it in such a way that things start to work for you. What do you think about that? Is that a law should not be a law if it only holds sometimes? It should cut across, don't you think?
The fact remains that, truth be told, anything that has to do with the caretaker committee for local government is not known to our law. Neither is a tenure elongation also known to our law. However, for political expediency, that has been the tools that all these governors have been using over the years. As we speak now, there are some states in this country that have not held local government elections in 20 years. Yeah, right. It is all about perpetual caretaker committee. So there should be an end to this.
And it's predicated on resource control.
Political, yeah, political expediency.
Hello, good evening. KAFTAN TV Matters Arising.
Yes, so good evening, KAFTAN TV.
Good evening. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set?
Yes, I've already turned it down. My name is Francis Aguare, and I'm calling you from River State.
Mr. Francis, can we have your contribution?
Yes, my contribution is, to me, I'm not a fan of democracy. I'm very sorry to say it. Because if democracy is all about politics, and politics is all about deceiving your own people, even your own brothers to go and die for you, like as the local government, they are like what is happening in the local government. Some of them are taking off to, some of the local government chairmen are taking off to Canada, deceiving the other ones that they are going to give them cutlasses and all the rest to fight on his behalf. And some of them are on their own. So that means democracy is nothing to write home about. Then on the issue of what is happening in River State, I don't think there's any crisis going on in River State. All that is happening is maybe the governor is only trying to take over only trying to take control of that those local government. And already the other people has I don't know what our courts are doing about this one with different interpretation to what is happening. Nobody is giving the actual thing that is happening in the that is supposed to be done. This one will interpret to east, and another court will interpret to west, and creating confusion. And in the midst of this, I know some people are feeding fat out of it.
Okay.
So, my sister, I beg, if democracy is all about this, that means to me, I'm not a fan of democracy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I think I share the same view with him because he said he's not a fan of democracy. I am a fan of democracy. But the kind of democratic structure we operate here is different from where we borrowed it from. And you know why people kill to offer service in Nigeria? It is because our democracy is lucrative.
Well, we're wrapping up here. I would like to get your thoughts. I hope that our correspondent from Rivers has thoughts.
Mine is an appeal to politicians that to lead the people is not tantamount to making yourself larger than life. You know, appropriating to yourself the power that you don't have. You are just a single individual. Come, do your own bit, contribute to national development, and then leave the space for others to come and continue. But when you want to, you serve, you feel the sweetness of office, you want to stay there forever, either directly or by proxy, I think that is the bane of our democracy today.
Yeah, I completely agree. And leadership, I think the core message here tonight is that leadership should be by service. I think that if our leaders reposition to understanding that public office really is a position to serve the people, and democracy should work for the people, and the people, especially who voted them into office, would have even more saner societies. I hope you all have had an amazing time with us tonight on Matters Arising, as we did right here in the studio. We really enjoyed all of the phone calls and the interactions, but this is the size of our package tonight. We thank our viewers and callers for their various informed contributions. And on behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team, I'm Evelyn Dan-Epelle, saying good night and see you next time.
My name is Maucauley. Hunohashi, it's always a pleasure being with you. Thank you and bye-bye.
And I am John Okoro. Enjoy the rest of your night.
And as we say on KAFTAN TV,
imagine a beautiful world.